Hello everyone and welcome to my CBS Soaps official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Wednesday, October 15, 2025. Today on Days of Our Lives, Abe's even more horrified by Theo. Sophia begs Melinda for help and we learn who Tesoro's father must be. Johnny and Chanel meet in the bookstore, waiting for Paulina. Sweet Bits is going to supply the pastries for the bookstore. Can you imagine if Julie went with someone else since the bakery and bookstore are right next door to each other? But they're distracted by the whole Sophia mess. They've been trying to get hold of her to confess, but she's gone underground. That's when Paulina shows up saying she spoke to Child Protective Services to investigate what's going on. She points out that Sophia's obviously disturbed. Then after she leaves, Chanel and Johnny decide to pay a visit to their tormentor's home. Abe's checking in with 2T and Son's former bully Liam when Theo walks in to make his displeasure known. Abe throws Theo's decision to join DiMera back at him, then gets even more upset when he learns his son will be CEO. By taking this job, you become the face of a company that has done some very questionable things. That's bad enough, but then Theo tosses Paulina under the bus, saying she encouraged him to trust himself in deciding what to do. It does not go over well. And it gets worse when Paulina shows up. Abe calls her out for telling Theo to take the job, but even Paulina's surprised about him being CEO. Pleasantly surprised. Congratulations, baby. Abe just glares at them. Holly surprises Ari in their room and tells her all about Tate's super romantic airport encounter. Romantic or problematic? Luckily, Nicole understands that her daughter chose a boy over her. They get into how horrible a person Sophia is, and Holly fills Ari in on her friend, scheming and lies. They ponder who could be the real father, but Holly just wants to make Sophia pay. Speaking of which, Aaron visits Tate at work and gets the full rundown of Sophia's lies. But when he gets to the part about not being Tesoro's father, poor Aaron just freezes. He runs through it again with Tate, then sighs. Aaron's probably the father. Knew it. He didn't tell Tate because Sophia promised him that it was impossible he could be the dad. Tate is not happy, but as Aaron points out, he had a whole lot going on with his family back then. It takes a bit to convince Tate this isn't all about him, but he eventually relents and accepts his friend's apology. This is all on Sophia, and when Holly drops in, Aaron breaks the baby daddy news. Sophia rushes into Melinda's office for help. It's all falling apart. Remember when you asked me not to do anything stupid? She asks. Well, she did. Sophia lays out what she did to get revenge on everyone and well, she messed up. Melinda, who's no angel herself, is horrified. She promises she's not mad, just disappointed. Still, Sophia seems to get increasingly sociopathic as she talks, which Melinda clearly clues in on. Sophia, you don't actually wish that Holly had gotten hurt, do you? No, of course not. Things just keep getting worse, though. Everyone she tried sabotaging is after her, they figured it out. And she found out that Tate's not the father of her baby. Melinda's getting a bit fed up with all this, though she insists she isn't. But Sophia plays the poor me, everyone hates me card, and Melinda finally tells Sophia as gently as she can that she can't help anymore. The best legal advice she has for Sophia is to come clean before anyone else exposes her. Sophia flips out, accuses Melinda of turning on her and leaves. Walk away, Melinda, just walk away. Sophia has lost it. Theo thinks he should live somewhere else since his dad's so mad, but the thought of him staying at the DiMera mansion just makes Abe even more riled up. He asks for a moment alone with Paulina, then lays into her once Theo's gone. But Paulina is not having his tone and Abe apologizes. But he insists she doesn't know the DiMeras like he does. Johnny and Chanel come up empty with Sophia. They can't find her, but she gets home just after they checked. Melinda calls and leaves a message promising she's there if Sophia needs anything. I've done everything I can to protect you, so I hope you protect me too. Oh, okay, so it's not entirely altruistic. Sophia stuffs clothes in a bag as out in the square, Ari catches up with Johnny and Sophia. In the pub, Holly's disgusted at Aaron's news and starts sharpening the metaphorical knives and getting ready to lead the mob to Sophia's doorstep. Sophia then grabs her stuffed bear and leaves. Wednesday, October 15, 2025. Today on Days of Our Lives, Abe's horrified by Theo's decision, Sophia begs Melinda for help, and we finally learn who Tesoro's father really is, sending shockwaves through Salem that no one saw coming. The morning sun spills across Salem Square, deceptively calm considering the storm about to erupt. Inside the small bookstore on the corner, Johnny and Chanel sit at one of the reading tables waiting for Paulina. The place smells like coffee and cinnamon, thanks to Sweet Bits pastries stacked neatly in baskets on the counter. Julie, ever the perfectionist, wanted everything ready for the big event, the bookstore's grand reopening, complete with a pastry partnership. "Can you believe it?" Chanel says, adjusting the napkins. Sweet Bits right next door to Julie's place, and she still almost went with that new pastry truck from Horton Town Square. Johnny chuckles, Julie's gotta keep the drama alive somehow, it's Salem. But their laughter doesn't last long. The tension that's been simmering under the surface all week quickly returns when Chanel glances down at her phone. "No new messages from Sophia," she mutters. "We've been trying to reach her since last night. Nothing. She's gone completely off the grid." Johnny leans back in his chair, concern replacing his usual easy charm. "I've got a bad feeling, Chanel. When someone like Sophia disappears, it's never just to cool off. She's running, and not from us, from something." Right on cue, Paulina bursts through the front door, stylish as ever but visibly upset. "Children, we need to talk," she declares, lowering her voice when she sees a few customers browsing nearby. "I called Child Protective Services. Someone needed to make sure Tesoro's safe, especially after everything I've been hearing about Sophia's behavior." Chanel gasps, "Mama, you did." Paulina folds her arms. "I absolutely did. That girl's unstable, baby. I know compassion's important, but compassion doesn't mean turning a blind eye to trouble." After a few tense minutes, Paulina leaves for another appointment, leaving Johnny and Chanel exchanging worried glances. Chanel finally sighs, "I can't just sit here. Let's go check on her. If she's really losing it, we need to make sure she doesn't do something stupid." Johnny nods grimly, "You're right, let's pay our tormentor a little visit." Across town, at the Carver home, Abe sits with Liam, Theo's former tutor and one-time bully turned reformed young man, trying to discuss an educational program for kids in need. But the calm conversation is shattered when Theo walks in, briefcase in hand, wearing a crisp new suit. Abe looks up, "What's this?" Theo swallows hard. "I wanted to tell you in person, I'm joining DiMera Enterprises." The words hang in the air like a grenade before it goes off. Abe's voice drops cold and deliberate. "You're what?" "I accepted the position," Theo replies, trying to sound confident. "They offered me CEO, I want to prove I can handle it." Abe stands up, trembling with disbelief. "By taking this job, you become the face of a company that's done more damage to this town than I can count. How could you align yourself with them, son? After everything their family's done, to the Bradys, to me, to you." Theo's jaw tightens. "I'm not them, Dad. I can change things from the inside." Abe laughs bitterly. "Change things or lose yourself trying." Before the argument can escalate, Paulina enters mid-phone call, still buzzing from her earlier conversation with CPS. She hears the tail end of the confrontation and freezes. Abe turns to her, fury blazing in his eyes. "You encouraged him, didn't you?" Paulina blinks. "What?" Theo jumps in. "She told me to follow my gut, to trust myself." Paulina, realizing what's happening, tries to smooth things over. "Abe, baby, I didn't know he was gonna be CEO. That's a big deal. Congratulations, sweetheart." Abe glares. "Congratulations, you're proud he's aligning with DiMera's." The tension is unbearable. Finally, Theo mutters, "Maybe I should stay somewhere else for a while." Abe's voice drops again. "If you mean that mansion full of snakes, then maybe you should think long and hard about the kind of man you're becoming." Paulina winces. "Abe." Theo leaves, slamming the door. Abe exhales shakily. "You don't understand that family the way I do, Paulina. They destroy everything they touch." Paulina folds her arms. "And you don't understand your son. You're so busy protecting him that you don't see he's already strong enough to stand on his own." Abe softens, guilt flickering in his eyes. "Maybe you're right, but I can't shake this feeling that something terrible's coming." In their room at the Salem Inn, Ari sits cross-legged on the bed, scrolling through social media when Holly bursts in, face flushed with excitement. "You are not gonna believe what just happened at the airport," Holly says breathlessly. Tate had this whole dramatic confrontation with Sophia right there in front of everyone. He told her he was done, completely done. Ari raises a brow, romantic or catastrophic. Holly shrugs, depends on your taste in chaos. She throws herself onto the bed. But at least now he knows she was lying about everything, and get this, she might have been lying about who Tesoro's father is. Ari's jaw drops, you mean? Yeah, Holly continues. She told everyone it was Tate's kid, but after everything that came out, no one believes her anymore. And I think I know who the real father is. Ari leans in whispering, who? Holly sighs dramatically, Aaron, Tate's best friend. Ari gasps, oh that's so Salem, I can't wait to see that explode. Later, at the Java Cafe, Aaron nervously stirs his coffee as Tate arrives from work, still wearing his uniform. Thanks for meeting me, Aaron says, there's something I gotta tell you. Tate sits already weary, if this is about Sophia again I don't wanna. It is about Sophia, Aaron interrupts. Look, I didn't say anything before because she swore it wasn't possible, but there's a chance I'm Tesoro's father. The words hit Tate like a brick. He stares stunned. You're kidding. Aaron shakes his head. I wish I was. I ran through everything that happened, the timeline, what she told me, and it adds up. She lied to me too. For a long moment, Tate just sits there, jaw clenched. Then he mutters, unbelievable, she used both of us. Aaron nods miserably. I'm sorry, man, I never wanted to keep this from you, I just didn't know for sure. Tate slams his hand on the table. You should have told me. Aaron doesn't flinch. Yeah, and I should have known better than to believe a liar. But right now, all I care about is making sure that kid's okay. The tension slowly breaks. Tate sighs, rubbing his temples. You're right, none of this is the baby's fault. Sophia is the one who did this. And just as they're finding their footing again, Holly walks in. She overhears enough to freeze in her tracks. Wait, you're saying you might be Tesoro's father? Aaron nods, resigned, looks that way. Holly's eyes widen, then narrow. Then Sophia's about to wish she never set foot in Salem. In her sleek downtown office, Melinda Trask barely looks up from her paperwork when Sophia bursts in, trembling and pale. Remember when you told me not to do anything stupid? Sophia blurts. Well, I did. Melinda's pen drops. What did you do, Sophia? Sophia starts packing, rambling about the lies, the manipulation, the revenge schemes gone wrong. Her voice rises with every confession, from falsifying documents to threatening people she claimed to love. Melinda listens, horrified. Sophia, do you even hear yourself? This isn't just some teenage meltdown, this is criminal behavior. Sophia laughs, unhinged. Oh, please, like you've never broken a rule or two, you're not exactly Salem's moral compass. Melinda stiffens. Don't make this about me, you need serious help, and if you want any chance at redemption, you have to come clean. Sophia's smile fades. You're turning on me too, after everything I told you. I'm trying to save you, Melinda replies firmly. The best advice I can give you as a lawyer and as someone who actually cares is to tell the truth before someone else exposes it. Sophia's expression twists into fury. You're just like everyone else, using me until it's inconvenient. She storms out, slamming the door so hard the glass rattles. Melinda exhales shakily, whispering to herself, that girl's a ticking time bomb. Then she picks up her phone and leaves a voicemail, her voice soft but wary. Sophia, it's me. I've done everything I can to protect you. I hope you'll protect me too. Back in the square, Johnny and Chanel find Sophia's apartment empty. She's gone, Chanel says, panic creeping into her voice. Johnny frowns, or hiding. Let's check the park, maybe she's trying to sneak out of town. Meanwhile, Sophia rushes home through the side streets, avoiding familiar faces. She shoves clothes into a duffel bag, tears streaking her face. Her stuffed bear, Tesoro's, sits on the bed. She grabs it, clutching it tightly. I'm not a bad person, she whispers to herself. They made me this way. But out in the square, the walls are closing in. Holly's telling Ari, Johnny, and Chanel everything she just heard. Aaron's revelation spreads like wildfire. By the time evening falls, the entire town seems to know the truth. Aaron is. Abe and Paulina watch the news unfold, the announcement flashing across the local station. Abe shakes his head. This town never changes. Paulina sighs, at least the truth's finally out. Maybe that girl can start over somewhere far, far away. And in a quiet moment at the edge of town, Sophia lingers at the bus stop, clutching her bag, eyes glistening. She looks back towards Salem one last time, then steps onto the bus without looking back. Her stuffed bear falls from her bag as the door closes. The camera pans down to it, a silent reminder that even in Salem, some endings aren't tidy, and some secrets never stay buried for long. Tomorrow on Days of Our Lives, Melinda faces backlash for her silence, Theo gets an unexpected ally, and Holly's revenge takes a dangerous turn. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and don't miss any updates.